Hey guys, hope y'all doing good today. So today's live stream, we're going to talk about basically some news articles about the current crypto market, some altcoins, some technical analysis, and then I'll take any questions y'all have as well during the stream. So we'll give it a couple minutes, let everyone get started and join us, and then we will start. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to talk about today in the market is basically what everything is doing, right? So it looks like a lot of coins are taking a cool off today. You see Bitcoin's down 1.5% to 37,700. Ethereum's down 2% to 2,500, 2,560. And then you can see a lot of other altcoins are down anywhere from 3 to double digits and percentage down. So again, not too many coins doing that well today. Again, you do have some gaming coins, Metaverse, Axie Infinity. That's up 8.5% today, so that's not doing too bad. Then you have Flow up 6%, another Metaverse coin. And then scrolling down, again, not really much else besides that. Let's go and look at our watch list real quick. So for our watch list, again, a lot of coins are bullish on Rose, Syscoin, Dusk. They're all down significant amounts today, which is not good to see. Talos is actually holding up. It's down 2% to 68.6 cents. So the DEX on that charm has actually been doing pretty good recently. Go ahead and check that out. And then scrolling down, VLaunch is up 5.5% to $1.15. So that's basically an influencer coin. Technically, I am still bullish on it if a lot of influencers continue to pump it. But, we'll have to see what happens because it has dropped from 180 about a month ago. Next, looking at CoinGecko, our watch list on there. So Jewel, as you know, that was the big game. That play to earn game that a lot of people in the AVAX ecosystem are bullish on. Went up to $20 before the crash. Now it's around $7.23. Could be a good buy opportunity. We'll have to see. But then Metis, again, another bullish coin. It's down 118, down 10%. So definitely a good buy opportunity there. The L2 Ethereum rollup. So definitely watch out for that. And then Magic, this one I've been bullish on as well. It's at 382. And this one is basically a new NFT coin as well. It's kind of on the Treasure platform, which is on Arbitrum. So it's kind of like the OpenSea of Arbitrum, if you will. And Magic is the currency similar to ETH. And then you have Tethys Finance. That's the DEX of Metis. That's down 17%. And then again, one we've been bullish on is actually Aleph Zero. So A0. It's up actually 13.8% today to $1.55. This is a layer 1 protocol. It focuses on Web 3.0 and basically bringing it to enterprises. And it's just released a couple days ago. I announced this in my Discord, so it definitely could be a good buy opportunity here. This one I'm very bullish on because it's only listed on one exchange so far. So definitely keep an eye on Aleph Zero. I definitely think we could see some big moves with this coin. And Iwini Sini says, hi, hey, how's it going? Good to see you here. Definitely, guys, if you have any comments, questions, anything, go ahead and please leave them in the live chat. I'll be more than happy to read them. Next, let's go over some BTC ETH technical analysis. Okay, so For this, basically going over my view, and a lot of these charts I haven't changed too much, but basically I'm looking at the daily because I believe the daily provides the best overall macro picture, right, of where we're going from here versus looking at short term, kind of the 4-hour or the hourly chart. So I really like to look at the daily, especially when these big, kind of bear markets, downturns we're having, because it does indicate if we do break some of these trend lines that the macro trend may be changing. We may be going to a bullish trend, right? So Bitcoin, you can see here on the daily chart, we do have this trend line did start the bear market, okay? So basically from Bitcoin's high of over, 69,000, basically it has been declining since then. You can see this trend line has provided resistance every step of the way, right? Well, we did come towards that trend line again, not too long ago, actually yesterday, and it was up to 38,359, okay? And since then, it started to go back down. So what I am thinking, if this trend continues, then declining back down to about 33,500, and then that'll line up with this wick over here that we had on January 24th. And then from there, bounce up out of this descending wedge, and basically this RSI break out, right? And then basically start our retest of this 40,500 level. So this is something that I'm looking at right now and something I think could definitely happen. So again, any type of pump I'm looking to short from here. Again, this trend line, we could decline all the way back down to 33.5 like I'm saying. So do not get too bullish on any of these pumps, again, until there's some bigger macro picture, some bigger news event that does cause a catalyst for us to break out of this current downtrend. Now, looking at the comments here, Shmudak Samsung, thinking that's Russian. Not sure about, I cannot read that. If you could translate that to English, that'd be awesome. Cami says, hey, I'm wondering what happened to Atom ecosystem. Those coins were very strong during this dip, but now seems giving up. Is it because of connection to Luna? Camus, that's actually a very, very good question. I'll have to look at the Atom ecosystem after this TA, but yeah, Atom, Cosmos, Osmosis, the DEX on it, Juno, the governance token, all those are performing very strongly. So if those are performing bad right now, then yeah, definitely could be something tied to Luna, right? So yeah, I'll go and look at those. I'll put those on my notepad and basically talk about those after this. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Definitely good points there. And then also for Bitcoin, talking about market cap dominance, right? This is another chart not a lot of people look at. Basically talking about, Bitcoin's dominance compared to altcoins. So usually for altcoin run, we see Bitcoin's dominance either move sideways or decline, right? Because all the altcoins are gaining a lot higher percentages than Bitcoin, therefore the dominance of Bitcoin is declining, right? But now we can see with Bitcoin, we have this kind of triple bottom that's formed on the weekly actually. So, which is even more important, right? So this triple bottom, if it continues to bounce up like it is and increase like it is, then possibly I could see it bringing down altcoins, right? Because it means Bitcoin's increasing more than altcoins. So just be wary of that. Again, there is a, same correlation. If Bitcoin goes up, altcoins usually go up with it, but there is a high chance for that inverse correlation because Bitcoin has been underperforming so long. You may have those big accounts start to fly over to Bitcoin and away from alts because they've been so volatile recently, right? They want to preserve their money, their capital, so they're not looking for too much volatility. So they're going to go in Bitcoin, a safe haven. So definitely something to keep in mind. And let's see. So Angelo looks like a spam right there. So go ahead and go into remove that. Yep. Okay. And let's go and delete that. Okay. Anyway. Now, what we're going on is, again, looking at that. So next, let's talk about Ethereum, right? So for Ethereum, one of the biggest things for Ethereum is, again, this descending wedge as well. And that's one of the biggest things you have to watch out for, right? So for Ethereum, that's going to be the same thing as we're doing for Bitcoin. So you can see right now this downtrend that did start the total downtrend. Right now we're looking at when Ethereum's high was around 4,900. Since then it's been declining, right? So I'm looking at this pink line here and this teal line on the daily. Now Ethereum did have a little bounce. It didn't quite get up to this 2750 level that I was looking at. It rejected right here at about 2638, which again, it could still go up to this 2750 level, which I'm definitely looking to short. But right now, possibly back down to 2350, right? And then 2350, looking for a possible bounce all the way up to that 3000 level, in which another decline all the way back down, possibly down to around this 1700 level. I think that's kind of going to be the final, nail in the coffin for bearishness. And then from there, have that reversal out of this descending wedge and basically breaking out, possibly first to this 2345, 2750, and then again 3000 again, and continuing on, right? So you can see there's a lot of resistance, especially around this 3000 level, right? We have this diagonal from the macro downtrend. We have this horizontal resistance here from the daily. And then also you can see we have another trend line here from the daily resistance as well, right? So you have all these kind of forming, and definitely doesn't look good. A lot of resistance up top. So again, we need some type of bullish catalyst for Ethereum and crypto in general, something to break them out of this resistance levels and the strong downtrend that we have had. So definitely something to keep in mind there. Now, I know Camus was talking about Cosmos, right? So how Cosmos was underperforming. So let's just go ahead and look at that real quick, and then we'll cover some news articles about Justin Bieber's NFT buying a Bored Ape, and then also some other catalysts that may be adding on to the current bearish news, right? So looking at Cosmos right now, it's down 7.3% to 2673. Now, Cosmos, again, was one of those strong coins, right? And you can see here that during the downtrend, you can see it was still, consistently maintaining its highs, right? But then recently, as of January 20th, it's kind of, declined versus other coins. And yeah, I think a big thing, Camus, what you're saying is because its connection to Luna. I think one of the biggest things is that I made a video a couple days ago about Time Wonderland. And there was a lot of FUD about Danny. So I'll go ahead and put that real quick. So those who don't know Danny Esta, basically, he was the creator of, you had Spell, you had the Magic Internet Money, and basically this guy here, there was a lot of drama with it the past couple of days, and basically what happened is his funds on Time, they were getting liquidated, and then you had Alameda Research pull out, I believe it was over $500 million worth of MIM, his Danny's stablecoin, and that depegged a lot of other currencies, and basically anything tied to Time Wonderland or any of those OHM fork tokens, they got destroyed, right? So Luna had is an OHM fork, so it had ties to that. So again, you had a lot of people pulling out the MIM stablecoin. I don't know if it's still depegged right now because that was the biggest thing, right? So yeah, it is depegged, right? It's still 99 cents, just under that. And you can see here, right here, okay, you saw the 7-day, right? So on January 27th, it depegged all the way down, and actually it only shows 97.5 cents, but it went all the way down to 85 cents, okay? When you had Alameda Research had that sell on it and a lot of big sell pressure for MIM. So that basically destroyed the whole Time ecosystem, right? And then you have Cosmos, which again is just an innocent bystander with ties to Luna, and basically that's, not good for anyone either. So I think that's kind of a reason. I don't want to say it's the only reason because this downturn on Cosmos and Osmosis, they happened before the whole Time, kind of drama. But again, I think it's just rotations. To be honest, I'll have to look more into it. But I think the biggest thing is rotations of, different L1s, L2s, and kind of what's hot, for that day. And Atom was holding up, but yeah, I'll do some more research and I'll owe you an answer, Camus. If not at the end of this live stream, on the next one or in the Discord. So definitely, if you haven't joined the Discord, go ahead and do that. It's definitely a good place to, talk about, what's going on in the market, and basically another thing to, you can ask any questions about some TA or anything like that. So definitely, if you haven't joined the Discord, I'll go ahead and leave a link here. And there you go. So, all right. So yeah, for the Discord link, if you aren't joined, definitely join there. And then Shmudex says, what do you think will happen tomorrow on the stock market, right? So the stock market, again, hasn't been doing too good. We'll go ahead and actually, let's pull up the S&P 500 real quick. So pull up the SPY and see if we can see what works with that, right? So right now we can see that the SPY, I'll go ahead and pull up the daily for that. Really just doing a quick analysis here. So I'll draw some quick lines, right, for some support resistance levels and see what we can find on here. So, okay, so these are the important levels, right, for SPY. If we go to, actually, I'll stick on the daily here so we can see. So one of the biggest things for the stock market right now, again, traditional finance has not been doing too good, right? So you have a couple trend lines we can draw right here. Now, again, these are just kind of on the fly. You know, they may not be the best, but you can see here. So if you want to call this, you know, some type of downward trend line here, you can, right? This could very well be like a channel that we're going in, right? So I think one of the biggest things is always having an open mind of either we're in a bearish downtrend or a bullish downtrend. And I think right now, looking at this, it kind of looks like, you know, a bearish downtrend, right? It doesn't necessarily look like a wedge because it's not, I mean, it's kind of going in, but not that much. So basically what I can see here is the stock market, you know, potentially right now, it did have a bullish run, you know, before the weekend. Potentially just kind of, you know, testing these support levels, going down a little bit more, maybe bouncing off of this trend line, continuing down, bouncing off again, possibly continuing down, right? Like it could have something like that. And this one's kind of sideways to the left, but you get what I mean, right? So basically just having a, you know, consistent downturn and basically just, you know, bouncing down kind of like that. So I think that's what we're going to see right now. Again, unless there's some type of bullish catalyst, right? I think that's one of the biggest things. And yeah, so personally, I just think we follow this downtrend until something breaks, honestly, until we either break to the upside or the downside and continue down further. But if you're looking for major support levels to look at, again, for the SPY, looking at about 4,300 down to about 4,170, your next buy level, and then down to 4,060 for your next buy level again. Now, one of the biggest things, I know Apple, they actually had bullish earnings whenever they were reporting their earnings. So I think it was 125 billion or 123, and expected was like 118. So Apple did pretty good. You can see how much they popped up, right? So 162 went all the way down up to 170. So that's over a 10% move, which is huge in the stock market, right? So as far as Apple's concerned, just looking at the daily chart, again, I mean, technically it broke this downtrend, right? And then for the bottom portion of it, I mean, you can see here, like, you know, technically Apple is more of a descending wedge, if you will, versus SPY. But again, Apple could kind of disassociate itself from the original market. If people are, you know, bullish on technology, it's kind of the overview of the whole stock market for Apple. So that definitely helped a little bit with this crypto run we had. You can see the RSI, how much it spiked up. So again, kind of could go either way, but mainly looking at the SPY, kind of thinking, I'll go ahead and back to the chart for the SPY. Looking at the SPY, this is what I'm looking at right now, right? It's kind of downtrend until we see otherwise. So kind of take that for what it's worth. And then hopefully there's some good news with Russia, China, or, you know, a lot of the global news that's going on. But yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. And Cam, it's good to know you're in the Discord. Awesome. Always a pleasure to have you. Next, let's go over some news articles. So one of the things I had on the thumbnail was Justin Bieber. So he bought a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT for $1.3 million, 500 Ethereum. Now, this is insane because one, you know, it was just a plain Bored Ape. There wasn't any rare traits to it. And at the time, the floor was about 100 ETH, right? So the floor is 100 ETH, plain traits, but he buys one for 500 ETH. Now, I was talking with some buddies, and again, this is good because he just wants to get into the ecosystem, and celebrities in general getting into the BTC ecosystem I think is bullish for NFTs, you know, as a whole, because you kind of see that adoption now, because there's always things like you have digital currency in games, right? That's been a big thing. And I think now people are just starting to really kind of focus on that more because of the whole metaverse, you know, coins, you have pay to earn, and there's always been that. It hasn't necessarily been a pay to earn in a sense for video games. So now that all these are coming out and you have NFTs providing benefits, if you hold them, right, you connect your wallet, maybe you're invited to this BTC event, this Bored Ape Yacht Club event, or you're, you know, if you have a BTC in your wallet, then now you're, you know, basically able to purchase their limited edition merchandise, right? So these people who say, hey, I'm gonna take a snapshot of an NFT, that's they do that because they know it'll make some people mad, but for the true NFT holders, they aren't fazed by that because there's no way, one, that person can sell that NFT for millions of dollars. Two, they can get access to a lot of limited edition merchandise, events, etc., right? Because they have to connect their wallet and sign their wallet for holding the actual NFT. So people are very short-sighted, and it's just hilarious when I see people thinking they can screenshot NFTs and they're like, oh, I own this, right? Of course they're trolling, but in reality, they probably don't know exactly what's going on. So that's one of the biggest things. And Camus says, because this ape looks very stylish and simplistic in my opinion. Hey, it could be, right? It could be it's a, plain looking Bored Ape, and hey, who knows? Who knows why, Justin Bieber bought it? But I think it's definitely good. It makes a statement, and it's, something to keep in mind. A lot of these celebrities are really getting into it. And if you look on OpenSea, Justin Bieber's his profile is Justin Bieber NFTs. So if you want to look at it, just search that. But we can see Bored Ape Yacht Club right now. The floor for that, I believe, is around, 107 ETH right now, which is insane, okay? So, again, Bored Ape is just continuing to rise. And, if you have any good NFTs, definitely they're a good hedge for the market. So I think it's good to hold NFTs and altcoins and Bitcoin, kind of a, triple hedge there. So definitely if you're not doing that, something to keep in mind as well. One of the next articles we are going to talk about is going to be on CoinDesk, and it says the unhosted crypto wallet rule is back. It says the rule was first proposed by U.S. money laundering watchdog FinCEN in late 2020, and it says a controversial proposed rule that would enforce know your customer rules on unhosted or self-hosted crypto wallets may again be under consideration by the U.S. federal government. And it says the rule was first proposed at the end of 2020 by the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. The U.S. money laundering watchdog, if enacted, crypto exchanges would be required to collect names and home addresses, among other personal details, from anyone hoping to transfer cryptocurrencies to their private wallets. Now, I know immediately what you're thinking is, what in the world is going on, here, and am I going to be watched all the time? Am I going to have to KYC for literally everything I transact with? Well, let me actually tame some of those that skepticism. So you see in here on the next paragraph, it says industry advocates said they were concerned that the rules might be impossible for certain wallets to comply with because they're not controlled by people and therefore not tied to this personal information. Others were also concerned that requirement might be overly burdensome for individuals to comply with. So again, wallets such as MetaMask, Phantom Wallet, decentralized wallets that aren't connected to anything, they're literally you just create one out of thin air. Those are going to be a lot harder to track. Now, basically what they're saying is, hey, if you transfer from, let's say, KuCoin, Binance, FTX, etc., to like a MetaMask wallet or Phantom wallet, you're going to have to, provide that KYC, right? And that basically, if those exchanges are required to have your KYC, then, potentially they could track, you're transferring wallets to this decentralized wallet, and they could trace that with their technology and their software. But again, I don't think this is going to happen, because again, it is such an overreach. And for example, you can create a MetaMask wallet and trade off of Uniswap, trade off of any of these DEXs, and there is no KYC for any of those, right? So how can they track that? So that's a big thing that I want to talk about, is basically a lot of people, are worried about this kind of stuff. And again, we'll read the rest of the article, see what it says. But just from my opinion, I mean, it's going to be hard. One, to allow all exchanges to KYC. I think eventually we'll probably come to that. But until then, I think, DEX wallets are going to be a safe haven, especially if you just transact on no sexes and, all DEX exchanges. It says the rule was driven by then Secretary Stephen Mnuchin rather than FinCEN itself. The original proposal was published on Treasury website and not FinCEN's. The watchdog only posted the proposed rule when the comment period was extended. And it says the Treasury Department, which now overseen by Secretary Janet Yellen, revealed that the rule might be considered in this semi-annual agenda of regulations, set to be formally published in the Federal Register on January 31st. So January 31st, it's tomorrow, Monday. So again, if this is published in there could be some more FUD. So that's why I'm saying, with a lot of stuff going on right now, it's just best to short, right? To short on any of these pumps that we have. I mean, that's kind of shorting until it doesn't work, right? And then basically, just going to skim over the rest of this here. And it says the agenda outlines priorities for the Treasury Department, but does not indicate that the rules will for sure be implemented or that they will be implemented as is. Rather, the agenda is a tool that signals things Treasury will work on over the next 6 months. So that's another thing, right? 6 months, they're going to possibly work on this. So again, not happening immediately. So no reason to FUD right away. But again, just something to keep in mind. as things go forward, right? And then they of course have defining money if they want to label cryptocurrencies as securities and exactly all that kind of stuff, right? So the Fed is constantly trying to really push, kind of put cryptocurrency in some type of category, whether it's, are they securities, because they're trying to get their money too, right? And I know I don't like that. I know y'all don't like that. But again, I think that they should just stick to the whole tax thing with crypto and then kind of leave everything else as is, because they want to try to take as much as they can from people. They don't like independence. It's kind of where they're going on the U.S. government right now. But yeah, hopefully this rule doesn't get proposed. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And then looking in the comments, Shmudak says, thanks for the answer. Do you use any other indicators besides RSI and why? Shmudak, yeah, I use a lot of other indicators. Basically, I'll use MACD. That's another big one, right? So these are kind of some indicators, some really basic indicators, right? So if you haven't used MACD, moving average, convergence, divergence, right? This one is a good one. Because really it tells the momentum of the market, right? So you can see when it crossed down below this orange line, eventually you had the SPY basically go down with it. And then, it crossed above and you had, a little bullish action here, and then it crossed down below right here. And it basically had, the bearish momentum there. So you could use the MACD as well in addition to the RSI. When there's overbought levels, I think this is definitely just a good tool just to use these both together as like basic indicators. And then if you wanted to combine one more, there's another free one that I have. It's called the MFI Pro. And this one is kind of like this one talks about the money flow and basically where it's at and when it's oversold or overbought or oversold, right? So you can see here money flow is overbought and then we declined from there. You can see here money flow was oversold and then, we technically went up a little bit from there. But again, when combined with the RSI and MACD, if they're not curving up with the money flow, then hey, you're not going to buy yet. Okay, so good. Combining these, I think, are good. So again, RSI, Relative Strength Index, MACD, Moving Average, Convergence, Divergence, and MFI Pro, Money Flow Index is definitely some 3 good ones to have in your pocket. They're all free. I think it's a good starting point, right, for you. And then when there's all confluence between all three, either overbought or oversold, hey, it could be a good point to enter, right? So hopefully that helped you out there. So I'll type that in the chat. RSI, MACD, MFI Pro. Cool. All right, let's go to the next article. So next one is an article that says alts have been underperforming. So it says it may be winter, but the crypto bears aren't hibernating. Nonetheless, is it possible to find opportunities even in this market? One way to do so is to seek out cryptocurrencies that can outperform the first and biggest of them all, Bitcoin. Except that's easier said than done. Trying to find a well-capitalized cryptocurrency that doesn't see its price closely tied to Bitcoin is hard to come by. Yet, it may all depend on what time frame is being used, okay? So this column has touched on correlations and volatilities over the past few months, that there's a reason why that's important. For portfolio managers looking to hedge their alternative coin, altcoin holdings, knowing their asset relationships with the more liquid of a lot gives a sense of how big of an offsetting position they will need to take. So basically, this talks about the correlation of altcoins and their beta level to BTC. Again, beta meaning how much they move in relation to BTC. So think of it like a leverage position, if you will. So if Bitcoin moves 1%, ETH is going to move 1.23%, right? And then that goes for any of these coins here. Some of the more volatile you can see being the lower caps. If Bitcoin moves 1%, Link is going to move 1.35%. Okay, so definitely beta. If you have a beta below 1, that's kind of in the stock market, we call that a defensive stock, right? So it's basically like a hedge, if you will. So if like Bitcoin moves down, then those coins aren't going to move down as much. So for example, if we can see even just Bitcoin Cash 0.99. So right, so if Bitcoin moves down 23%, Bitcoin Cash moves down 22%. So it's a small hedge, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Tron is actually a better one, 0.92 with Zcash 0.92. So those could be hedges as well, right? Those don't move down as much, but again, those don't move up as much. So I think that's always good to diversify your assets and kind of think, what can I hold that's going to help me if there's a downturn and not be overexposed to anything, right? So I think that's definitely something good to watch out for there. And then it says holdings on the altcoins over the past month wasn't just painful, it was excruciating. And it talks about the actual returns where you have everything from Bitcoin down negative 23% to some altcoins down negative 40%. So definitely something to Keep in mind on that. And definitely, if you're holding a lot of altcoins, I definitely recommend having something in stables, right? Because you can see these returns are horrible. And to hedge against the downside, I recommend at least having, right now, at least 40 to 50% in stables, if not more. I'm doing about 60-40, but again, to each their own. Until we get some more conviction for the bullish scenario here. And it says, Yan predicts that functional alts will outperform Bitcoin in the long run. He defines functional as those that do things such as provide an ecosystem or operating systems that also have definitive value, accrual mechanisms like staking or gas payments for services. And therefore, there's more of an anchor when it comes to valuations. Okay, so basically he's saying that, altcoins with good fundamentals, that with strong either, roadmaps coming up, announcements, developments, anything like that, those will technically perform best whenever there is a bullish market and tend to help, perform better with your portfolio. So it says during a pullback, functional coins still end up higher than BTC in percentage change from when the bull market got started. It says when we noted that layer 1 blockchain darling Solana token halved in price since the start of the year, Yan was quick to point out that it's still up several multiples of where it was trading in March 2021 compared to Bitcoin, which has lost about a third of its value since then. So again, all he's saying is, hey, even though Solana pulled back 50% when Bitcoin pulled back 25%, looking at Solana from a year ago, it's still up, 20x, 30x from where it was, whereas Bitcoin is down 33% from where it was the same time. So even though they have bigger pullbacks, they have much, much bigger runs, and especially in bull runs, you're going to get, potential for 100x or more with these altcoins. So that's what he's saying basically. He's used this as good buying opportunities because during a bull run, they're going to go up a lot more. So hopefully this clarifies some stuff for, when buying altcoins versus Bitcoin on there. And then last for the article for today, and again, if y'all have any questions, leave them in the comments. But it's going to be a New York Post article, and it says cryptocurrency is in a hiring frenzy and you might just be fit. It says, it's a bold new world, and as cryptocurrency gains mainstream street cred, there's a sizzling gold rush in hiring. So again, there's jobs for crypto, right? Much less to what people think, crypto is gaining a lot of traction, and a lot of people are looking to hire. It says, according to a new Indeed report, which is basically one of the hiring websites that people use, searches for careers in cryptocurrency and blockchain, the technology which supports it, have spiked. And postings for careers in the field have jumped by 118% as of July 2021 compared with the previous year. So again, this article is almost a year old, so you can imagine how much more it's jumped since then. Michael Hearn, CEO of Decentral Publishing and creator of Uncensored Crypto, an online docuseries, isn't surprised. He said the boom seems to be here for the foreseeable future, and Upwork.com are all easy-to-use job sites that feature new companies. The hottest trends and short-term growth opportunities are working with non-fungible tokens, NFTs, gaming, and anything related to the metaverse. So again, I was talking about, celebrities buying NFTs, the growing metaverse, play to earn for video games. That's growing, and that's not going away anytime soon. And with that, you're going to have people hiring as well in addition to that. So definitely keep that in mind there. Also, a quick side note, if y'all could like the video, I'd really appreciate it. Trying to provide the best content I can. So any like helps to get this live stream out to the masses. But going on to the article, it says cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Doge, Ethereum, and more are worldwide digital currencies represented by virtual and physical tokens. They are secured by cryptography and don't rely on banks. Instead, currency is stored in digital wallets. Its worth varies like other currency card. And okay, talking about just cryptos. Yep. Scrolling down here, it says the goal is for cryptocurrency to function as its own monetary system, said Hearn, who hopes that candidates will soon negotiate tokens the same way they negotiate salary. The New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, is ahead of that curve, and his owner made a good on promise by taking his first biweekly paycheck in cryptocurrencies, which is crazy, Ethereum and Bitcoin. New York is the center of the world, and we want it to be the center of cryptocurrency and other financial innovations. His dollars were converted via Coinbase, a crypto exchange, since currently it's illegal for U.S. employees to get their salaries in cryptocurrency. So this is crazy, right? One of the New York mayors getting his salary in crypto is crazy. And I think that, just in general, that's kind of a big thing for New York, right? Because New York is usually very liberal, usually very against a lot of this stuff. So it's good to see that they're actually going towards this. It says, quote, the blockchain and cryptocurrency industries have been around for over 10 years, but they're still considered early in the grand scheme of things, said Hearn. Candidates looking to take a leap have literally thousands of jobs to choose from. So here's some salaries actually for the jobs. So You have, let's see, if we scroll down, blockchain engineer. That's going to pay you about $92,000 per year. It says blockchain engineers maintain and support blockchain-based networks or applications such as cryptocurrency exchanges, payment processing, document sharing, and more. And scrolling down, and basically it says core engineer skills are required to understand the architecture, algorithmic complexity, and design best practices. Typically, these jobs require multiple programming languages such as Kotlin, Golang, Rust, Java, C++, JavaScript, or Python. Now, Rust is a popular coding language that's been booming the past year or two. So I think that'd be definitely a good one to learn. Of course, you have C++, Java, or Python. Those are always your staples, right? If you know those, that's always a plus as well. Not for just blockchain, but for other jobs as well. It says you need to be a very good coder. You need to build a great software, which means common engineering skills, whether you've done fintech in the past or not. Okay, so do you understand the database, security layer? Do you understand the back-end developer tools? Those are transferable skills. So that's a job. And you have, excuse me, technical blockchain evangelist. That's $161,000 per year. It says this role requires comprehending the ins and outs of the platform and helping people discover it. Think of it as a product manager or marketing manager with technical support capabilities. Communication and critical thinking skills are important to thrive. And it says they emphasize the importance of proactive education if you don't already have direct experience in the blockchain. They say the entire space of blockchain is open and there's no lack of education resources or ways to get involved in your teams with projects you're interested in. So that's one as well, right? So manager of partnerships, 161,000. So basically for managerial positions, right? So such as business development or partner management. NFT collections typically include numerous unique digital items that need to be tracked and put through quality control. So content management skills are critical, along with effective communication. So again, that's another one. So Jeff Zell, he's a senior director of NFT partnerships and business operations, works with partners such as UFC and Philadelphia 76er licensing teams who are launching NFT collections on the Crypto.com's platform. So again, kind of like mergers and acquisitions in a way, partnerships to try to advertise, market with your company. That's one that is gaining traction as well. Then of course you have a recruiter, 63,000. So again, you're looking for those skills that people have, kind of engaging the person, interviewing them. Similar, to HR, all their recruiters. That's another one. Compliance associate. So basically making sure that your company or the business is complying with a lot of their regulations, because there's a lot of big regulations with the government and the feds in regards to crypto. So making sure that your business is complying with all of that. It says strong writing skills are important as documents are reviewed by regulators, auditors, and law enforcement. So making sure you're covering yourself, that's going to be $82,000 per year. And basically compliance hiring is on top of our minds every single day, said Nagalding. So compliance is probably one of the most important aspects of a company, because again, that's what's going to get you in trouble or keep you on the straight and narrow. So definitely I can see why that's paid $82,000 for that. But you can see there's a lot of job openings, right? A lot of things for crypto. It's going to continue to increase. Now, again, all these altcoins and stuff, are they going to continue to rise with it? I don't know, because these could just be like a tulip frenzy, right? Everyone's just kind of trying to buy based on the rumor, selling the news. So again, you got to keep that in mind when you are looking at all these news articles. Everything happening right now is just, don't fall too much for the hype. Make your money, get out, and then look for the next opportunity. That's what the biggest thing is. Don't be married to your bags. Diversify your altcoins, diversify into stable coins, all that good stuff, right? That's going to be your best bet for that. For this video, I'll give it another couple minutes if anyone has any other questions. And then if not, then I will sign off. So far, it looks like we have been on for, let me see if I can see. So it looks like we've been on for a little over 35 minutes, which is nice to see. So hopefully I've helped y'all with a lot of the good information. Again, if y'all could, please like the video. And then again, comment if you have any questions. And looks like no one has any other questions for now. So again, thank y'all for coming. Really appreciate y'all. Really appreciate everyone coming here. Hope you had a good enjoyed the stream and enjoyed some of the TA and some of the advice as well. Again, not financial advice, but just trying to help you guys out.